I see all kinds of things at trade shows, but Lederhosen's as company apparel? Maybe I shouldn't be surprised considering it's Tunze and they are a German company, but I had to get the inside scoop on this.
Yeah, I bought them, I was 22. I think I'd gone over there for the first time. And I saw everyone walking around in them. I was like, I want a set of those. And so then his dad took me to the store in town that sold them, and they fitted me. I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
It's a fitted Lederhosen.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not tourist Lederhosen. I mean, you go to a real shop and
It's the real deal.
yeah, they check and this is what's going to fit you, and they help you with all the accessories and get you all set up.
What kind of accessories do you have for a Lederhosen?
Well, I wanted the red cap.
Oh yeah.
And your dad was like, "Oh no, that's only tourists wear that. No proper German wears a cap. Don't get the cap." And so then, they were like, "This is the authentic outfit. This is what you're going to wear." Now, living in Texas, it comes out for Oktoberfest, occasional Halloween party, but that's Wurstfest, but that's about it.
So your dad, Axel Tunze, you're Felix, you're second generation.
I'm third generation.
Third
already.
generation.
Yes, my father was the second one.
Who was the first?
My grandfather Norbert started, I think, in 59. Yeah,
1959.
Yes. After the Second World War, there were no other companies out there, and he really was into this hobby, but there was no manufacturer. So, yeah, like in the early days, you tinkered yourself, and he made a business out of it.
Your third generation, you've seen it kind of change.
Yes.
What's your take on that as a third generation?
That's a good question. I needed a long time to find out for myself. When I go to the Interzoo, I have the feeling like we are the last unicorn. There are not so many manufacturers out there that really manufacture their own stuff.
Okay.
And even in Bavaria. And so one of my things is being your own manufacturer and produce the products you want for yourself, produce the special things, and this kind of works. And only last year I found out that marketing is also important.
So this stuff is made in Germany, or you make it and then assemble it in Germany?
We manufacture the plastic parts. We manufacture, we do the coil winding process.
Yeah.
But there are parts, for example, cables.
Sure.
But we source them from a Bavarian company. And electronics, a motor driver might be made in Asia, but it's soldered to the PCB in Bavaria. Or also from other suppliers, but especially in Germany, only in Germany.
Only in Germany.
Yes, and so on. So the plastic, we try to source only plastic from Germany. There are products like the magnets you cannot source from.
Yeah.
But we try to source it locally and then sell it all over the world.
So your third generation, what new things are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, actually. Now I'm more in the strategic thing. I mean, I'm working for the company for more than 10 years now. For example, the Care Magnet was one of my babies.
Ah, okay.
And really, the Osmolator 3 was also one of my babies. And actually, I am here because 1/3 of our turnover is in the US, and it's a very, very important market.
Really?
And, yeah.
1/3 of your market is the United States?
Yes.
So Roger, you're head of Tunze USA.
Yeah.
What's that like knowing that you're running the whole thing for the USA part of this big company?
Well, I mean, I'm very fortunate that we make a good product. The quality's high. I don't have a lot of repairs. I don't have the headaches of tons of broken stuff and tons of headaches and problems. And so and the other thing is I have the family to back me up. It would be a much harder job if I got thrown out in the public and it's like, hey, we had this horrible problem. We can't fix it, and we're not going to fix it. And it's, you're just going to have to go hide somewhere for a while. But they're very much, hey, we had a bad batch of cables. People call with this problem, replace it. Hey, we had a bad safety sensor batch on the first Osmolator 3s. The customer gets a new one. It's, and they're very much, our name's on the box. It's going to be the best, and we're going to take care of it.
Yeah, your family name is on the box.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's very special. Sometimes I get goosebumps when I think about it. That the family name is written on the box, and a product that is actually made at my home is sold here and is making the people happy here and making the hobby enjoyable.
Yeah. Everyone always says, is it Tunze, Tunze? What's the correct pronunciation?
I just learned again from Roger that it's Miele, Porsche, Tunze.
Tunze.
Tunze, yeah.
Tunze.
Yeah.
I have to get the German like
Tunze.
you in there. How do you, Tunze?
Tunze, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So now we actually have it. From the man himself, the horse's mouth, now you have the right pronunciation. So Roger, you were saying you do it all yourself. I've called you before. I'm like, hey, I'm having this issue. And you're like, you immediately knew how to fix it. There was no, let me transfer you to tech support. Because you're the guy. And it's, like you said, there's so little repair that you can handle it for yourself. But also, like, you know it.
I've been a hobbyist for a very long time. I started in the aquarium hobby when I was 8 years old. It was something my dad always had the hobby. I got into it. I started I started an aquarium store, and that was in Austin. And then I got more and more into it. I started into doing reef aquariums. I always was more or less a plant aquarium hobbyist, and that still is probably my main passion, or the aquariums I think are the most beautiful. But I got to be honest. I do love my reef tank. You know, I anemones, and I actually like saltwater plants a lot, and so I'm very happy to see that the macroalgae and that are kind of finally becoming a big part of the hobby. Having done it and using the products, you know how they work. And part of, you know, I think a big part of the reason that his father and his grandfather trusted me was that from at the beginning, when they had a few distributors, I was the one that could repair things. And it's just, I've always repaired things. I tend to figure out how things work. I fix them. And it's just kind of an innate sense of understanding machines.
How many freshwater tanks for saltwater?
I bought one of these really fancy tanks. I had this beautiful rummy nose plant tank and, you know, hatchet fish. Yeah. And my kids are, like most kids nowadays, they're into Minecraft and all the games, and the axolotl came out in Minecraft, and now it's an axolotl tank. Now my only tank that's really mine is a 265-gallon reef tank. One of my bigger successes in the hobby is I got a red eye anemone, a Heteractis magnifica, now known as, usually called magnificent anemone. I think I got it 7 years ago from Chris at Unlimited Color Corals. I think I actually bought it at one of these shows. Really? And it's a purple Jakarta morph, and it's cloned itself 7 times.
I was going to say, where's the hookup, Roger? I need one of these things. I got to keep up with you.
If it splits again, I think most everybody I know has a clone of it, so I'll make sure to get you one. Right now I've got 2 of them. I've decided that I'm going to try to keep some of the clones and build a colony, and that and Blackfoot skunk clowns that's one of my favorite fish, and they go really well together.
How many tanks do you have, Felix?
Actually, I just started with my first tank only 1 year ago. I have 1 tank in my living room now.
Because your parents had the tanks?
Yes, not really. You know, my mother had a shop and in the factory. So I grew up in the factory, in the shop. So I never had something at home, actually, personally.
Okay.
And,
but you've literally been immersed in it your whole life.
Yeah, kind of. It's a funny situation. You know, I'm an engineer. I grew up with all the manufacturing, with the troubles in the hobby, but I never actually enjoyed it myself. So
why is that?
My parents didn't force me. You know, I wouldn't say my father was forced, but you know, when you give a family business to the next generation, you want someone to really do it. So you're pushing your children.
Yeah.
And my parents I have 4 brothers and sisters. So my parents, none of us was pushed into a certain direction.
Okay.
But now I am very linked to the community, and very much enjoy it, actually. Yeah.
And you can get in a sea anemone from Roger.
Yeah, back to Germany might be hard.
No, come on, you got people, you can handle it. You're good about moving goods. Anyway, so do your brothers and sisters work in the company as well?
I have 1 brother working in the company, just production optimization, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is your grandfather still around?
My grandfather died in 2003.
Okay.
So when we brought the first propeller pump, he saw the success, and then he died, unfortunately. And yes, and my father is still in the business, still working very, very hard. I'm very proud that he built up everything, and he chose me, and that I'm now in the position of continuing the family business.
Yeah, the torch has been passed to you.
Yeah.
So you get to carry it on.
Yes.
What's that like, knowing you got to support the family and keep up the family name?
Yeah.
Which is on every box, by the way. What's that like?
It's, you know, I grew up with it, so it's unfortunately kind of normal, but in situations like that, I just realized this is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your family name is worldwide. People know the name, even if they can't pronounce it right until now. And I remember, back in the day, you're probably too young, but that's okay. I had a tank that had a external box for the wave box to fit in it.
Yeah.
So that was like a big thing. I just remembered that.
Yeah, the wave box was a huge hit when it came out.
You know, when it came out, I was a child, but my parents also brought me to Interzoo, and I saw all the people standing around the
wave? Yeah. And then there was a nano wave box.
Yes.
But then, so here you go. So people always, back then, something new comes out and everyone's like, oh, that won't work type of thing. The rumor or the concern then was that wall of water hitting the glass on the far side is going to break the tank. I had never heard of a tank breaking because of a wave box.
Yes.
So what's next?
The Stream 3 project was also one of my babies, and I still appreciate the motor, but for a flow pump it's ugly and nobody likes it actually. Because there is this female toy, and some people are telling me it's looking like that.
Hey, niche market, man, you got to do what you got to do.
But actually the motor itself is brilliant. It's mine, sorry. No, it's actually a magnetic bearing in a pump is actually great, and I want to use it for return pumps and for skimmer pumps actually. So this is coming next, and also one of the things that, as an older company, we did it very wrong. We are one of the last to bring Wi-Fi capabilities. Now, as everyone has it, and it's a complete standard, we only started. But I think this is something a lot of our customers missed. A lot of customers told me, I love your products, you're great engineering, they last forever, but unfortunately, I want to control them with my smartphone.
Yep.
So I couldn't use them for the past years, sorry. And so we are getting rid of this problem. I'm not proud, actually, as you can hear.
Well, but you recognize it and
yes.
you're doing something about it.
Now we do, yeah.
Well, thanks for taking time to chat with us, guys. Love the outfits. If I ever come to Germany, which I love Germany, by the way, if you go to Europe, you have to go to Germany, otherwise you're missing out. And you have to go to Bavaria. It's the best part of Germany, period. Hands down, you can avoid the north, right? Just go to the south. I'll have to get up a real Lederhosen because you have to get them fitted. I did not know that until now. That's awesome.